But first, let's hear from some of your Packer greats. Please welcome Clay Matthews, Jordy Nelson, Mason Crosby, Ahman Green, James Jones, and Packer superfan Lil Wayne.
Man, they don't get Wayne's, but
I'm gonna go off script here real quick, Roger, but I just got off the phone with the President, Donald Trump. He asked me to pass a message along to all 32 NFL franchises. So let me tell you what it reads here, all right? It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck! Let's go!
that was crazy.
I'm sorry, Roger, I'm sorry.
Wow. That's a first. That's the red meat being thrown out here in the dairy world.
Okay, Green Bay, it's time to get the show started. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
All right.
Tennessee.
So, I don't know if that was the first surprise that Roger Goodell was
By the way,
in store.
Illinois, not a swing state, reminder.
So, here we go. The Tennessee Titans draft room in Nashville, Tennessee, where we had a terrific draft a few years ago, where Pat McAfee burst onto the scene right there in Lower Broadway. Here we are with the Titans now 30 seconds in. And Will Levis, as we know, struggled last year as a starting quarterback. Their first overall on the clock, in part because the offense couldn't get things going. It was very turnover prone. There's, you know, a lot of other reasons why a team is first overall on the clock. Daniel Jeremiah, this should be Cam Ward from all intents and purposes.
Yeah, they have a need. They earned that first overall pick with where they were. There was a lot of work needed to be done on this roster. They went out in free agency. They got a couple offensive linemen to come in. They've tried to make this young quarterback friendly for someone like Cam Ward. And Cam Ward, through the process, coming into the season, you're talking about somebody who's viewed as maybe a day 2 pick. But, man, we have seen this pattern happen over and over again, who guys stay in college, they play that extra year, and they vault themselves, in this case, all the way up to the top pick in the draft. He has the upside, the ceiling, when he gets there to compete with all the other top quarterbacks within the AFC. That's what type of ability he has. He's not there right now, CD, but there's plenty to dream on, and this is one competitive kid.
And you're talking about competing in your division and chasing C.J. Stroud. That's your first and foremost. But I think that he has earned this spot, Joel and Rich, because of this. The Tennessee Titans made him earn it through the process. I don't think they went into the idea that a quarterback was absolutely going to be their pick at number 1. They were hoping for that king's ransom that John Robinson got in 2016 when he was the GM. Someone make us an offer. We need help everywhere on this roster. But as they kept going through the process, kept evaluating, kept going through things, Cam Ward earned their trust, earned their respect, and they hope that he will be their Steve McNair going forward as this franchise gets kick-started once again.
That's nothing new for him, though. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. At least, you know, when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at a guy that was a no-star recruit, you know, he barely got recruited to Incarnate Word. Their head coach was Eric Morris at the time. Eric Morris was the offensive coordinator at Texas Tech when Patrick Mahomes was a Red Raider, and Eric Morris was there at Incarnate Word. Then he took the job at Washington State. Guess where Cam Ward went? To Washington State.
Washington State.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then he winds up at Miami, and again, a no-star recruit with one offer to go to Incarnate Word, winds up at Miami his last year as a consensus All-American. He's going to get selected #1 in the NFL draft. So you're talking about a guy just earning it in this process. He's earned it since day one in his college career.
And to DJ's point about him coming up through all this Incarnate Word to Washington State to this, yeah, competitive, but he could have come out in last year's draft and been a part of that. He took the extra year with Miami and vaulted himself into this position. That's what DJ's talking about with a number of these quarterbacks in recent years.
I think he made more money last year.
Well, and right now he's stuck in the vortex of the Titans apparently taking one for the team by taking all 10 minutes instead of just handing in a card with his name on it like we've